morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in beautiful San Clemente. We're so glad you're here with us this morning in person and out there in the video world. We'd like you to join us on our first sing-along song with the lovely Karen Allendale up here. And it's Ricky Byers' Becker tune called I'm Choosing Heaven. Oh, 1, 2.
Choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Joy, I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. Love, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing beauty. I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing beauty today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing peace today. Back to heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
Whoa! Thank you, Reverend Karen. You know, we all have a choice. We choose heaven today or we choose hell today. It's your choice. So good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. My name is Judy Chapman and I am an assistant minister here at the center. I am delighted that you have joined us here this morning for this wonderful service. And I know that you're going to get so much out of it. Out of the music, out of the message, out of everything. So we are a trans-denominational center, which simply means that everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. No matter what path you're on, no matter what you did yesterday, you're welcome here today. To a point. No, absolutely everyone is welcome. Everyone. We love you. So welcome home, everyone. And those of you that have not been here for a while, I've seen 2 or 3 people that I haven't seen for 18 months, and they're back. It's time for you to come back to your center and get into the feeling of being a community again and looking at us in our eyes, okay? So come on home. It's time. You belong home. So come on back. So we're going to start the service like we do every single week with the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, and we honor it here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of healing through the practices of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Faith Mackey lights that last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. Okay, let us pray. So we go within in the sweetness and the serenity of this holy moment, knowing that there truly is only one joy, one life, one divine essence. And this one I choose to call God, Spirit, or the thing itself. This energy, this vitality, this joy lives and moves and is revealed through each one of us. We are the light. We are the joy. We are the kindness of Spirit. And so this morning I affirm and I decree that all is well, and that each one of us is pulled by the vision of complete and perfect health. And every cell of our body is vibrating with the love of God. And we are pulled by the vision of perfect peace within us and perfect peace in our world. We live in a bubble of peace. And that peace centers us in spirit. And we are pulled by the vision of unconditional love, because the love that we feel is coming from that essence of God, God's love for us. For we were created in this image of love, this image of compassion, this image of joy. And so all is well. We are perfect exactly the way we are. And we are alive and awake and aware of this essence that is alive within us. So we are the light. We let our light shine. We let our light illuminate everyone that we come in contact with our whole universe. And so I place these words into that universal mind of love. And they've already been created. It's already done. And so I give thanks. And I fill my heart with thanksgiving and joy for this truth that sets us free. And so now I just release, I let go, and I anchor this prayer in confidence, in vision, and in love, as we say together, and so it is. Okay. And now our affirmation for today is, I allow Spirit to fill me to overflow, revealing divine truth. I can't hear you. So I can't hear you. Let's do it again. I allow Spirit to fill me to overflow, revealing divine truth. That was much better. Thank you so much. And now we do our declaration of principles. Ready? I believe in God, the one creative intelligence operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it. And so it is. All right. Oh, yes. And now I would like to invite the newly engaged Chelsea Van. Yeah.
Deep within each heart there lies a magic spark that lights the fire of our imagination. And since the dawn of man, the strength of just I can has brought together people of all nations. There's nothing ordinary in the living of each day. There's a special part every one of us will play. Feel the flame forever burn, teaching lessons we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. As the world gives us its best to stand apart from all the rest, it is the power of the dream that brings us here. Your mind will take you far, the rest is just pure heart. You'll find your fate is all in your creation. And every boy and girl, as they come into this world, they bring the gift of hope and inspiration. Feel the flame forever burn, teaching lessons we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. The world unites in hope and peace. We pray that it will always be. It is the power of the dream that brings us here. There's so much strength in all of us, every woman, child, and man. It's the moment that you think you can't, you'll discover that you can. Feel the flame forever burn, teaching lessons we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. The world unites in hope and peace. We pray that it will always be. It is the power of the dream that leads us
You used that power, I understand. I know I'm speaking for all of us here to congratulate you and Derek on your recent engagement. Yes. And I think your mom and dad are probably, more excited than you are. No, I'm just very excited, very excited. So congratulations, it's so wonderful. The power of the dream, there it is. The demonstration. So our yearly theme is the timeless wisdom, evolutionary vision. And we've been building on that all year long. And so July's theme is pulled by vision. So all the talks on Sunday are about being pulled by vision in different ways. So today we have just a double delight for you. It's double delight time. And we have our staff minister, Reverend Carla Shiradas, and practitioner Dave Freeman are here to speak to you on Is Your Commitment Greater Than Your Resistance? Please give a warm welcome to Reverend Carla and Dave.
Good morning, beautiful center.
Do you want to be timeless vision or evolutionary dreams?
Wow, that's quite a choice, isn't it? So we're going to start off this morning with a telltale story, and I want to set it up for you. So there's a chicken and a pig, and they live on a farm, and the farmer is really good to them. And so they both want to do something nice for the farmer. So the chicken approaches the pig and says, "Hey, Dave, I got a great idea, something nice we can do for the farmer. What do you think?"
I think you just called me a pig. Of course, chick. Of course, chick. What is it that you propose?
Well, I was thinking that the farmer really likes a good hearty breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, you see where this is going, right?
And he doesn't have much time to make anything for himself, so I thought maybe we could make him a good breakfast.
Is this why you crossed the road? To talk to me about this? I'd be happy to help you make breakfast for the farmer. What do you suggest that we make?
Well, I could provide some eggs.
That's a great start. What else do you have in mind?
Ham? The farmer loves ham and eggs.
So, while you're making a contribution, I'm making a commitment.
Yeah, commitment. Heavy word, huh?
The Commitment's good band.
It's heavy to some, but to others, commitment is freedom. For Dave and I, to be honest with you, we were a little resistant about doing this talk together this morning because time had really gotten the best of us. And for me, the ideas just weren't flowing, and I was wondering if there was enough information, enough, material to pull this off this morning for you. And then, right when we get here this morning, Dave says to me, which caused more resistance, "Hey, I got a great idea. We're going to do this different this morning."
Right? There you go.
And by the way, I made some changes. I didn't let you know about them. But we're committed. We made a commitment to you this morning, and that's what we're going to do. So the talk title we're addressing this morning is a question. Is your commitment greater than your resistance?
So before we go on with this, I want you to think about something. Think about a commitment that you've had, or maybe one that you're in the middle of. Did you find yourself resistant at the start? Maybe you're still resisting it at some level, and you're not really aware of it until you actually go ahead and figure this out. So keep this in mind. Some resistance to some commitment while we continue.
Okay.
While we continue. That's your cue.
So we got the dictionary out. Dave thought it was a stupid idea, but we carried on. We got the dictionary out to see what the definition of commitment was, and this is what it said. 1, the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or an activity. 2, a pledge or an undertaking. And 3, an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action.
And there's my favorite definition of commitment, the act of being committed. I never got that one. They do that all the time. So that we have a common place to play, some sort of common grounds, would you like us to move back? Okay. We can take this off probably, right? So we're going to define resistance. The refusal to accept that I need to talk so loud for you to hear. No. The refusal to accept or comply with something is resistance. And that resistance also applies to electricity. It's resistance to a flow at some level. And, for our purposes today, going against the action or the pull or the suggestion of spirit. Okay?
So why and how do we become resistant to our own commitments, the commitments we made to ourselves? For instance, don't we commit to something because we want something more in our lives? There's a longing for something richer, something that we've been dreaming about, or a creative idea that sparks our imagination, or a healthy body temple that we can celebrate, or a quest to fulfill. Knowing that this is what we want, what holds us back, and where does the resistance come from?
Could it be fear? Fear of what, though? We could do a whole afternoon talking about fear. In fact, I think we have, right? Anyone remember doing the Fear to Faith exercise and Adventures in Faith? It was Reverend Judy's favorite, if I remember. Yeah, there you go. So how does resistance appear? How does it show up in your life? Is it distractions, which I'll admit to have actually enjoyed that one at one time? Is it laziness or maybe procrastination? Because I know nobody here procrastinates, right?
And why does resistance appear? Perhaps it's an absence of faith that the universe won't provide for us. Or maybe it's because what we want would force us to move out of our comfort zone. You ever get there? You want to do something, but there's a little bit of this going on. Is it the pressure of the world that's trying to dictate our behaviors because we want to fit in or to feel accepted? Could it be that the resistance is just a bag of all of our excuses?
I actually believe that it's the excuses that points to the fact that we're experiencing resistance. When you make excuses, resistance might be present. And if we were to pay attention to how we were feeling, we might notice that.
Yeah. What's the purpose of resistance?
I'm glad you asked that. I actually have a little bit of a story, something I've run across. I think it was Stephen Pressfield. And the concept is, because we all believe that there's one, right? We are all as one. There's two. There is that oneness that we are, and then there is us, our human ego. And so I look at our ego as a sentient being all into itself. As a sentient being, the only thing that it cares about is its survival. So don't take it personal. It doesn't want us to grow. Anytime we're about to embark on something that raises up our soul, that gets us closer, it's bad for the ego, see? So it's just really, very simply fighting for its life. When I got that, it made me a lot easier to be able to go ahead and forge through that resistance. There's a great quote here. It says, resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. We call these gremlins, the chatterbox, the voices in your head, right? If you take resistance at its word, you deserve everything you get. Resistance is always lying and full of, insert your word in that one there. It's by a woman named Heidi Ann Harner.
One way to commit to our commitments is knowing or making a list of what our non-negotiables are. These might be what we would call our values, our spiritual values even. What is that unwavering part of you that you are? You know, that part of you that's absolutely unstoppable. One of my most deepest and personal important commitments to myself is my spiritual practice in the morning, and I do it immediately upon awakening. Well, last December, we decided to get a puppy. And even though we had 2 dogs already, Gypsy was 12 years old and Midge was 2.5 years old, but Gypsy wasn't interested in really puppy playing anymore. So we had this great idea. Since we're at home and it's COVID, maybe we should get a puppy. So we got Lola, a little cute little brown chocolate chihuahua. And the thing is that one forgets the reality of puppyhood. You know, it's love at first sight, those big brown puppy dog eyes, that little tilt of the head, and that unmistakable sweet puppy breath. Amnesia sets in, and then reality. You know the story. Up most of the night, play, first thing in the morning, and then the cycle begins. Eat, play, potty train, sleep. Eat, play, potty train, sleep. Okay, repeat. I realized that I'd forgotten what puppy means. There'd be no spiritual practice. Yep, puppyhood. What was I thinking? I really was truly frustrated, and I was remorseful to some degree and completely, utterly exhausted. I was not honoring my spiritual commitment, and I felt out of integrity with myself until I made a conscious shift. The feeling of resistance, it was my clue. I was holding on to what I thought my commitment should look like, and I was resisting the change. I had another choice. I could be in acceptance and mindfulness. I could be present in the moment. And isn't that a spiritual practice? Something God made loves me so unconditionally, so innocently. I could wake up in the morning and I could see that little one licking me in the face, looking at me with those big puppy eyes. And I could just revel in the delight of it, watching Midge and Lola play with just unabandoned joy. Let's face it, life happens and demands change. And we can trust in the process without losing sight that we get to recreate our commitments at the place that we're at. You see, my value for my spiritual practice was non-negotiable, and I figured out a way to do what was necessary to take care of both the pup and get my spiritual work back in schedule.
So how do we keep our dreams in focus? You know, keep our vision on this big picture while continue to work on the daily details, the trees in our forest, and try to experience what we've been told. We can have a balanced life, right? Who has a balanced life? You must be tightrope walkers, you guys. So commitment is a practice of intention, and it has to happen daily, even potentially multiple times a day. I like the word intention for the purpose of commitment, because at least for me, it allows for the reality that I'm not going to be perfect, and that's okay.
When we fall short, and we will fall short, it's important that we forgive ourselves.
Because another obstacle to keeping your commitments is perfection.
Right?
Right.
Either we are good or we're bad, we're successful or we're unsuccessful. This thinking keeps us stuck in old patterns, because when we make mistakes, and I guarantee we're going to make them, we're human, we think, that's it, it's over.
So take this as an opportunity to learn. Dust yourself off, recommit, and get back on your path to your intention. You probably don't remember, but think of what it used to be like when we were learning to walk.
Did you know it takes 11 months to do this with constant daily practice?
So if a child quit after one try, where would we be? Be a drag, right? Remind yourself, too, that you're also, while you're trying to change your habits, you're in the midst of unlearning something else. So again, be compassionate with yourself.
Eventually, you will be doing this new habit without much effort, because being in this practice is so enjoyable and it's so empowering. You'll be living it. That's what true freedom is.
True freedom, I like that. So, how do you move through your resistance once you've identified that you are resisting? And I'm going to touch back on Stephen Pressfield when he says, the more important a call or an action to your soul's evolution, the more resistance we feel towards pursuing it. I'm going to say that again. The more important a call to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel towards pursuing it.
And do we need the reminder that we can use science and mind principles to move us out of resistance and back into the flow of life, back into the flow of what our commitment is? Jesus clearly taught the spiritual power, that a spiritual power works through us at the level of our belief. And he said, quote, "It's done unto you as you believe."
And then only a couple of years later, Wayne Dyer says, you'll see it when you believe it.
So whatever we believe, it'll be your experience. Whatever you believe will be your experience. For instance, if we believe in the obstacle, whatever that form of resistance is that takes on for you, if we believe in the obstacle, then we believe that it is greater than the commitment. The obstacle wins.
Do you remember that story? I think they credit the Native Americans for it, about this kid, and he's talking to his grandfather, and he's talking about these two wolves, and one of them, they're fighting, and one of them's very vengeful and very angry, and one of them is very peaceful and kind. And he says, "Grandfather, which one of these wolves is going to win?" And the grandfather says, "Whichever one you feed, that's the one that wins. Wherever your intention goes, that's the experience you will get."
sounds like a simple case of cause and effect, the law of work. Belief is a thing of thought. And being a thing of thought, we can change the belief. Ernest Holmes said this in Living the Science of Mind. Quote, faith says, I can rather than I cannot or will not.
Faith said. And you just said it in your song, right? When you get to the point of actually not believing, that's when you can start to believe. It's beautiful the way the universe works. Faith is an affirmative mode of thought. And this is what spiritual mind treatment is for. Practitioners don't get caught up in our stuff. They don't get caught up in our story. They don't get caught up in our resistance. They won't climb into our box with us. All they see is our potential and our good, our godness, our gusness. They affirm with faith, the faith of all the power that is devoted to our commitment of whatever it is that we want. So what do you want? What we do is we borrow somebody else's faith if we don't have enough of it ourselves. We put it out there, and we know that it's out there, so we can allow other people to help us. It's a beautiful thing, actually.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Here's an affirmation for you. I'm not afraid or deterred by resistance because all the power there is devoted to my commitment to my good. We deny the resistance and we affirm the commitment. We work within the law that is absolute and unchangeable. Prayer with faith is a communion of our souls with the divine creative process. And when we align ourselves with this one power, we become unstoppable.
Because we are as it is. I believe that consciously knowing that helps to support our commitment. When you know what is, and when you know who you are, and when you know that the vision you have comes straight from Spirit itself, that this spark of inspiration is a direct revelation to us from that what is. It's given to you. Why would we resist? We got this, or else we wouldn't be handed it.
So now that we're aware of where the resistance comes from, how might we make it easier to move around it or to move through it? So let's just go back to the beginning of this talk where Dave asked you, was there a commitment that you've made in the past or you have made recently and you were to get a picture of it? Let's take a moment with that. You want to get clear on your vision, that commitment. Now I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. Now name that commitment. Now that you've named it, picture it. Picture your commitment. And now feel it. What does that feel like? That commitment you made to yourself. You can open your eyes now. So after you do that simple exercise, you name it, you picture it, you feel it. Now you're ready to give thoughts that support it. Little thoughts all through the day that support it. Remember that affirmation that I gave you a little bit ago? It's a supporting affirmation to my commitment, your commitment. So we affirm the commitment to it and to ourselves. And then we pray on it. Wow. We pray on it. You can let a practitioner help. and then we get in the flow of it.
Feel like a nice thing to do? So this from the Science of Mind textbook. Resistance is the offspring of fear and ignorance. So one of these practices is to try and find out what the fear is. And you got to go down a few levels. Keep asking yourself a question. Be brave. When it hurts, that's the answer. Knowing that everything is here for your own good, that you are as Spirit is, as Gus is. Therefore, it can be no other way. What is there to fear? Go ahead and commit. You got
this.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
How about that?
A lot there to digest today when I go home. Thank you so much. I love the quotes you gave, and especially that one about resistance is fear. Let's give them another hand. Thank you so much, Reverend Carla and Dave. And now, once again, Chelsea Van.
I can see it shining somewhere, bright lights somewhere invite me to come there and learn. And I'm ready, I can hear it, sirens singing. Inside my ear I hear them all singing, come learn. Who knows, maybe all the visions that I see may be waiting just for me to say, take me there and make me see it, make me feel it. I know it's so, I know that it really may be. Let me learn. I can feel it stir within me. Inside my soul, it's fighting to win me for good. Let it fill me, something's building. Hear the choir. A surge of light ignites a new fire for life. Who knows, maybe all the visions that I see may be waiting just for me to say, take me there and make me see it, make me feel it. I know it's so, I know that it really may be. Let me learn.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. It's always a pleasure when you're here with us. We just love it. Thank you. It's just beautiful voice. So it's time for our offering now. And we don't pass the baskets anymore during this time of uncertainty, I guess we'll call that. During this time until things all get cleared up. So there's a basket here by this door and then one at the back of the room for your gift, for your tithe, for your contribution. And for you out there in cyberspace, if you go to our website, there's a place there for you to donate, or you can just simply mail in a check to the center. And the address is also on the website. So thank you, everyone, for your gifts. And we totally are self-sufficient here with your donation and your gifts for this center. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Let's do our affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Spirit am I, free of all limits, safe and loved and whole. Spirit am I, free to forgive and free to love the world. Spirit am I, grateful am I, grateful for all the blessings of the earth. Thankful am I, praying for love and freedom for the world, praying for peace, praying for love, praying for
That is such a beautiful song, Diane. Thank you so much. Diane is our music and our choir director. We love her. Thank you, Diane. And to our wonderful band, David Page, Bill Dixon, Ed Cusby. Yes, we are blessed. In the back of the room today, we have Josh Tanner and Mary Brogdon. On camera, we have Noir. And we are so grateful for everyone and their energy that they bring to this wonderful Sunday service. Thank you to Chelsea, and thank you to Reverend Carla and Dave. Thank you. Our appreciation grows and grows and grows. So today our practitioners are Cheryl Lyman, Jill Burnett, and Faith Mackey. And they are available at the back of the room. There's 2 tables, and then one will be in the tranquility room at the back of the room for an affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. So as Reverend Dave and Reverend Dave, whoa, I like that. As Dave, practitioner Dave and Reverend Carla said in their talk today, use a practitioner. If you're stuck somewhere, if there's a obstacle, whether it be a mental block or a obstacle in your path to your spiritual path, a practitioner can see through that, see through your story, and go right straight to the truth. That truth is that we're spiritual beings, and we were put here to be joy and to be the beautiful expression of God. So avail yourself to a practitioner, and they're available to you, and they would love to do a spiritual mind treatment for you. Okay, and now we have invitations by Reverend Karen.
Exciting stuff. Okay, so first of all, you're invited to Conscious Connections right here in the sanctuary from 12 to 12:30, and you get to discuss today's topic. So join Mary Brogdon and friends and have some quality time together. And then next week, I was the scheduled speaker for the service. It was going to be Stayed. But now I have invited 7 of my friends to join me in a special staged presentation of To Tell the Truth. So come back next Sunday, see Reverend Judy, Clark Wilson, Wade and Kimberly Wooldridge, Jamie Kalama, Rick Dale, and Hans Smith, as we present you with a game show about truth. So it is written by the Wooldridges, so it's guaranteed to be fun, entertaining, and full of wisdom. So see you next week for that. And this Wednesday, July 21st, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., Reverend Kath is presenting a workshop, Conscious Loving, Part 2. And if you missed Part 1, please see Pam Rock, where you can get your materials. It is available via Zoom. And our LGBTQ group is now meeting in person, so please call Kathy Story or Tony Sparks for more information. Their information is available in our church directory. And save the date, Friday evening, August 6th at 7 p.m., our Women's Circle is hosting a free movie night for the whole family. And the featured film will be Amazing Grace and Chuck. And it's a heartwarming film about a young boy who raised a question about an issue that affects all of us. So if you have any questions about that movie, please see Mary Brogdon back in the booth. And we also have our many wonderful activities here at the center, including our book study with Mary on Wednesdays, Shifting Sands on Thursdays, and Coming Home Awakening to Spirit on Fridays. And then lastly, I know many of you may have been wondering what's happening with our candidating process. So right now we are in negotiations with Reverend Alice. And so we hope to have a final word on that by next week, correct? All right, so I think we're good to go. Now it's time to stand and sing our closing song. Right here, right now. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and is done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Let's bring it up a little bit. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. One more time. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Right here, right now, where I am. One more time. Right here, right now, where I am.
Your commitment. Picture it, feel it, we affirm it, and so it is.